Istanbul is Turkey's most populous city and is cultural and financial center. It extends both on the European and Asian side of the Bosporus strait and is thereby the only metropolis in the world which is situated on two continents. In its long history, Istanbul served as the capital city of the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, the Latin Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. The city was chosen as joint European capital of culture for 2010.
The city of Istanbul has had many names through its history. Byzantium, Constantinople, and Stamboul are examples that may still be found in active use. It has also been nicknamed the City on Seven Hills because the historic peninsula. The oldest part of the city was built by Constantine on 7 hills to match the 7 hills of Rome. In an edict of March 28, 1930, the Turkish authorities officially requested foreigners to cease referring to the city with their traditional non-Turkish names and to adopt Istanbul as a sole name also in the foreign languages. The city has a temperate continental climate with hot and humid summers and cold, rainy and often snowy winters. Humidity is generally rather high. Snowfall is quite common, snowing for a week or two during the winter season. The warmest month is July and the coldest is January. The weather becomes slightly cooler as one moves toward eastern Istanbul. The city is quite windy. The population of the metropolis has more than tripled during the 25 years between 1980 and 2005. Roughly 70% of all Istanbulers live in the European section and around 30% live in the Asian section. The doubling of the population of Istanbul between 1980 and 1985 is due to a natural increase in population as well as the expansion of municipal limits.
Greek settlers colonized the area in 685 BCE. Byzantium takes its name from King Byzas of Megara, under whose leadership the site was reportedly settled in 667. The town became an important trading center due to its strategic location at the Black Sea's only entrance. The city was besieged by Rome and suffered extensive damage in 196 CE. Byzantium was rebuilt by the Roman Emperor Septimius Severus and quickly regained its previous prosperity. Byzantium was officially proclaimed the new capital of the Roman Empire in 330. Following the death of Theodosius I in 395 and the permanent partition of the Roman Empire between his two sons, Constantinople became the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. In 1204, the Fourth Crusade was launched to capture Jerusalem, but instead turned on Constantinople, which was sacked and desecrated. The city subsequently became the center of the Catholic Latin Empire. Following centuries of decline, Constantinople became surrounded by more youthful and powerful empires, most notably that of the Ottoman Turks. On May 29, 4053, Sultan Mehmed II the Conqueror entered Constantinople after a 53-day siege, and the city was promptly made the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. Solomon the Magnificent's reign was a period of great artistic and architectural achievements. The famous architect Sinan designed many mosques and other grand buildings in the city, while Ottoman arts of ceramics and calligraphy was flourished. The city was modernized from the 1870s onwards with the construction of bridges, the creation of an updated water system, electric lights, and the introduction of streetcars and telephones. When the Republic of Turkey was founded in 1923, the capital was moved from Istanbul to Ankara. In the early years of the Republic, Istanbul was overlooked in favor of the new capital. However, in the 1950s, Istanbul underwent great structural change as new roads and factories were constructed throughout the city. Wide modern boulevards, avenues, and public squares were built, sometimes at the expense of the demolition of historical buildings. In the aftermath of the 1955 Istanbul pogrom, most Greeks in Turkey left their homes for Greece. During the 1970s, the population of Istanbul began to rapidly increase as people from Anatolia migrated to the city in order to find employment in the many new factories that were constructed at the outskirts of the city. Today, as well as being the country's largest city, Istanbul is the financial, cultural, and the economic center of modern Turkey.
The urban landscape of Istanbul is shaped by its many religious communities. The most populous religion is Islam. Istanbul was the final seat of the Islamic Caliphate between 1517 and 1924. Religious minorities include Greek Orthodox Christians, Armenian Christians, Catholic Levantines, and Sephardic Jews. Some districts have sizable populations of these ethnic groups. Throughout its long history, Istanbul has acquired a reputation for being a cultural and ethnic melting pot. As a result, there are many historical mosques, churches, synagogues, palaces, castles, and towers to visit in the city.
Historically, Istanbul has been the center of the country's economic life due to its location as an international function of land and sea trade routes. In 2005, the city of Istanbul had a GDP of $133 billion, outranking many prominent cities in the world. The major earthquake with its epicenter in nearby Kayseri on August 17, 1999 triggered one of the largest economic shocks for the city. Apart from the capital and human losses caused by the disaster, a decrease in GDP of approximately 2% occurred. Despite these downturns, Istanbul's economy has strongly improved and recovered in the recent years. Istanbul is the industrial center of Turkey. It employs approximately 20% of Turkey's industrial labor. The city generates 55% of Turkey's trade and 45% of the country's wholesale trade, and generates 21% of Turkey's gross international product. Many of Turkey's major manufacturing plants are located in the city. Istanbul and its surrounding province produce cotton, fruits, olive oil, silk, and tobacco. Food processing, leather, chemicals, electronics, glass, machinery, paper and paper products, and alcoholic drinks are among the city's major industrial products.
Istanbul is one of the most important tourism spots of Turkey. There are thousands of hotels and other tourist-oriented industries in the city, catering to both vacationers and visiting professionals. In 2006, a total of 23 million tourists visited Turkey, most of whom entered the country through the airports and seaports of Istanbul and Antalya. Istanbul is also one of the world's most exciting conference destinations and is an increasingly popular choice for the world's leading international associations. The city has many public and private hospitals, clinics, and laboratories within its boundaries and numerous medical research centers. Many of these facilities have high technology equipment, which has contributed to the recent upsurge in medical tourism to Istanbul, particularly from West European countries like the United Kingdom and Germany, where governments send patients with lower incomes to the city for the relatively inexpensive service of high-tech medical treatment and operations. Istanbul has particularly become a global destination for laser eye surgery and plastic surgery.
Istanbul is becoming increasingly colorful in terms of its rich social, cultural, and commercial activities. While world-famous pop stars fill stadiums, activities like opera, ballet, and theater continue throughout the year. Istanbul Archaeological Museum, established in 1881, is one of the largest and most famous museums of its kind in the world. The museum contains more than 1 million archaeological pieces from the Mediterranean Basin, the Balkans, the Middle East, North Africa, and Central Asia. Istanbul holds some of the finest institutions of higher education in Turkey, including a number of public and private universities. Istanbul University 1453 is the oldest Turkish educational institution in the city, while Istanbul Technical University 1773 is the world's second oldest technical university dedicated entirely to engineering sciences. Almost all Turkish private high schools and universities in Istanbul teach in English, German, or French as the primary foreign language, usually accompanied by a secondary foreign language.
Istanbul has two international airports. The larger one is the Atatürk International Airport located on the European side, about 24 kilometers west from the city center. The smaller one is the Sabiha Gökçen International Airport located on the Asian side. Sea transport is vital for Istanbul, as the city is practically surrounded by sea on all sides. Many Istanbulers live on the Asian side of the city but work on the European side, or vice versa, and the city's famous commuter ferries form the backbone of the daily transition between the two parts of the city, even more so than the two suspension bridges. The first modern sports club established during the late Ottoman period was Besiktas, 1903. Besiktas was followed by Galatasaray 1905 and Fenerbahce 1907. Galatasaray became the first Turkish football club to win European titles. The Atatürk Olympic Stadium is a 5-star UEFA stadium and a first-class venue for track and field, having reached the highest record standards set by the international Olympic committees and sports federations such as FIFA and UEFA. The stadium hosted the 2005 UEFA Champions League final. Istanbul hosts several annual motorsports events, such as the Formula 1 Turkish Grand Prix and the MotoGP Grand Prix of Turkey.